So far this week and last week, we've been looking at equations, where both sides of our scale were the same. Both sides of our equation were the same. An inequality means that both sides are not equal. One side is greater than or less than the other side. We describe inequalities by using these signs: less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Sometimes we'll use not equal to. Those are what we use to describe inequalities. We're going to be looking at three phases of inequalities. The first one's going to be writing an inequality, using words and then translating it into an expression. The next one is going to be true or false, identifying if the inequality is true or not. And then the last one will be actually graphing inequalities. Graphing is probably the one that most people find most, fun? I don't know if fun is the word for it. Let's first look at writing inequalities. So it says more than 23 students have an A. We don't know how many students have an A, but we do know that it is more than 23. So to describe that, we start with our unknown. That's the number of students who have an A. And we know that more than 23 of them have A's. Remember, the Pac-Man eats the larger number, so we don't know what that number is, but that number has to be larger than that number right there. So our inequality points in that direction. It's saying that this number is larger than this number. So more than 23 students have an A. We don't know that number, but it's more than 23. A savings account. Increased by $30 and is now more than, let's say, $200. Doing pretty good. So a savings account increased by $30 and is now more than $200. In this case right here, we don't know what our savings account is. So that's going to be our variable. Could use an X, maybe an S for savings account. So we have our savings account and it increased by $30. How would I write that it increased by 30?
X plus 30.
Sure, add 30 to it, and it is more than $200. So I don't know what this amount is, but I do know that it'll be more than $200. So X plus the $30. I don't know what that amount is, but it'll be greater than the $200. So that's basically the writing, the translating part of it. You can see how this connects to what we did yesterday. Yesterday we were writing equations. Today we're writing inequalities. So the next phase is going to be the true-false phase. In this portion, it's basically just taking an inequality and plugging in to see if the number works or does not work. Oh, sorry. So in this inequality, it says I've got 9 plus x is greater than 5. And I want to know if it's true or false if my x is negative 3. So I will put 9 plus, and my x is negative 3, greater than 5. So 9 plus negative 3 gives me 6. Is 6 greater than 5? So it is true. Here I've got x divided by 5 is less than or equal to 5. X equals 25. So we plug this back into our problem. So we'll have 25 divided by 5 is less than or equal to 5. 25 divided by 5 gives me 5. Is 5 less than or equal to 5? Yes, so my answer is true. And on to the final phase where we are going to be graphing. Graphing inequalities. There are a couple places that people typically get a little bit sidetracked. So when graphing this, you're going to draw a straight line, an arrow at both ends, because your number line goes on forever. The number that you're looking at goes right in the center. Then you're going to put one number larger than that, one number smaller than that. And it says that x represents everything that is less than 3. So everything that is less than 3 has to get shaded. You put an open circle at 3 and then put a line to the left, because everything less than that is being shaded. And you're saying, well, how do I know if it's going to be an open circle or not? Or why does it have to be an open circle? The reason that it's an open circle is that anything less than 3, so like 2.999999999 would be shaded. But it's really difficult to get your line like right up there. So what they do is they put an open circle here to show that it's right around 3, but not 3 exactly. So just short of 3. But everything right around it is shaded. And then everything less than that is also shaded. Let's take a look at one other example. This time I've got a -5. X is greater than or equal to -5, so in my center I'll put a -5. What's one number larger than -5? Scout? Good. Many people will mess that up. Many people will mess that up. So it says that x is greater than or equal to -5. So that means that it can be -5. So now we close in that circle, because it's possible to be -5. And then x is everything greater than that, so everything to the right gets shaded in.